Lunchbox is brought to you by Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Bifo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon again, and welcome to part 2 of our Boca doubleheader today on the Lunchbox. We're stockpiling shows like squirrels with nuts because next week is 4th of July. We're going to take a couple of days where we'll kind of have some encore episodes. But right now, this is take number 1 for one of our favorite stops on the Lunchbox tour. We're at Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca Raton, and we're with the fatty.
Come on. I thought Blue was swimming.
Oh man, I've had a week. The fabulous Eddie Pizzoli. I'm the fat. I'm the fat. Eddie Pizzoli, excuse me, and welcome back. How are you doing? I hope better than me. It's the whole Panthers thing.
This is great. I mean, it was unbelievable that, down to the last 10 seconds of that game was great.
It was great. I didn't know how much of a hockey fan you are.
Not really. I mean, I'm a fair weather fan, probably 90% of the arena. But it was awesome to watch.
Obviously, I watched the last, probably the entire series. It was great. That third period though was a little bit scary.
Yeah. Now, some of our friends in the restaurant business, like Reno Sorbonne, is actually brother-in-law is Roberto Luongo, who banged the drum to get the crowd going before Game 7. A couple of other of our friends and sponsors, season ticket holders, some of them were there. But it's fine to just kind of jump on at the end and you still feel all the enthusiasm. And I guess the question for you is, what are you going to do to get the cup to make an appearance here? Because it seems like it's been at every restaurant in South Florida just in the 2 days since the cup has been won.
We gotta figure out what to do. Maybe we put we fill it up with some crushed ice, put some oysters in there.
There you go.
Do a seafood tower with the Stanley Cup.
I don't know. With all those Canadians on the team, maybe a little bit of poutine, a poutine tower in the cup might get the job done. And I know you guys here can improvise. You got the great culinary team, and Chef Jeff, I understand, is on the injured reserve. It's like he's a hockey player who had a tough battle in the playoffs or something. What happened?
Years in the kitchen, it happens. It's not a desk job. So after many years of being on the line, he's a very hands-on chef. He ended up needing a knee surgery and a knee replacement. So he did that and is recovering great and is at going through physical therapy, doing his thing, and we'll be back in a couple months, ready to rock and roll.
Can't wait to see him again. He was a real treat to have on the first time. The way he kind of goes and adapts to the local, wants to find all the good local
the
products.
Master mixologist.
Oh, there we go. We got Oscar. Can say hello to the Lunchbox crowd here. We're on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, and it looks like we got something with watermelon, and we got something. Spicy watermelon margarita. I'm going to dish that off to Lubie because he's the tequila man. And what's the other one here? We'll get. We're gonna have the mixologist.
Oh, there you go.
Lubie is all of a sudden very bashful. He's just full from. There we go. Okay, here we go. Have a seat. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And again, we're at Corvina Seafood Grill. It's just here in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road on, was it Plaza Real?
Between Royal Palm Shops and Meisner, I try to say. It's like kind of like a little bit of a no man's land.
Yeah, it's just that offshoot of the side street. And once you find it, you're going to love it here because they're queuing up, I think, already to get in the doors for the summer social hour. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, mixologist Oscar, tell us what we got in front of us for our cool sipping.
First one we have is it's called the Boca Girl. We use Kettle One Peach Blossom Kettle vodka. It also comes with a little bit of Aperol and then has a little touch of lemon juice. And I make a house-made Rosemary Simple, which is really cool. and nice and refreshing.
And a sprig of rosemary. Is this pulled from somebody's herb garden locally
we grow
here?
It, we grow it in back.
You
Yeah.
do. Well, that's all right. You can call me Boca Girl. I don't know if the governor allows that, but I'm gonna call myself a fan of
You
this.
can be
drink.
whatever you want to be.
Yeah, that is light, summery, refreshing. I love the hit of the rosemary because it gives that herbaceousness, and so it's not too sweet.
Correct.
And I don't know where you find these little mermaids, but that's a very nice drink garnish.
Thank you.
And yeah, so
Awesome.
here's to summertime. Here's to the Panthers. And else we got. We have the.
We also do the other one that I'm sharing everyone with here is the spicy watermelon margarita that we put a sugar rim on. I also puree fresh watermelon in house. We use Ghost tequila for the spicy flavored tequila.
Yep.
And then a little house-made sour mix with a touch of triple sec. Nice and refreshing.
Very nice. Lubie, do you want to take a sip of that? You look deeply concerned. I think maybe you need a little muscle relaxant at this point of the day. It's been a long one, but yeah, we're gonna do a raise a glass and one more toast. And thank you. It's a beautifully composed cocktail.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I am gonna enjoy drinking this and say salute, l'chaim. Got my longtime buddy Mark the Sheik is here joining us today. We're gonna have a little dinner here at Corvina afterwards. Maybe enjoy the summer social hour if we can get our check-in before 6 o'clock tonight. Eddie, tell people. Look at them. They are
they're already.
I don't want to say they're like
lining
vultures.
up,
they're like fine patrons.
They're
that
excited
are just
customers,
excited.
Clientele.
Tell us what
I love
happens
it.
here
I'm so
every
excited
day
about this.
at
All right.
4:45. It's 4:52 now.
So how did it start? Corvina's been around about 2.5 years now. So when we took over this past October, obviously season's always busy. You know that's going to be the thing. But the one thing we know about East Boca, being that we grew up here, from here, our roots are here, is that East Boca turns into a ghost town when it comes to the off season. You think Meisner Park draws people, this and that. It's there's people, but it's not nearly what it needs to be.
It's challenging.
It's very challenging.
A
There's
lot of people have gone back to the old snowbird ways, and Mark, my friend here off to the side, is one of them. He's going to be going to his upstate New York summer home starting next week. And again, it's where people now go off to European vacations or going to summer homes.
Yeah, everybody kind of does their thing in the summer. So we get it. So what we were thinking was like, what can we do here to really get our name out there in the summertime and really make an impact, not only, to get butts and seats, but to make sure the public
get a buzz,
knows who we are. Because, for 2.5 years before we took over, 2 years before we took over, the restaurant's always been phenomenal. Food has been great. Service has always been great, but there hasn't been much buzz about the brand, what's going on. And I just don't think it reached the proper amount of people to get to the next level. So we all sat down with the team and we're like, what can we do to just bring it over the top? And we came up with this summer social hour. And 6 nights a week. We're only open 6 nights a week right now.
Okay.
We offer
closed on Mondays.
Closed Mondays.
But the other 6 nights, including Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's the part that blows my mind.
That's insane.
We do 50% off the entire menu from 5 to 6 o'clock.
And not just the entire menu.
The drinks too.
Everything.
The bar.
You can get a bottle of
Premium
Dom Perignon.
content.
Bottles too. Oh,
Oh.
wow. Oh jeez.
This guy is the king of the masochists. We thought Panthers fans were bad. We thought Dolphins
Well, let me
fans
ask
were
you though.
bad.
Like
But
6 comes, people don't just leave, right? Like
No, so what happens is obviously restaurants can only take so many people every 15 minutes. So
Right.
Yes.
we have the reservation set up to where we don't completely crash and burn at 5
I was
o'clock.
talking to your manager, Veronica, is it? And she was saying you got 90 on the books in the reservations, 90 covers between 5 and 6 p.m. staggered. And I just think it's brilliant in that you don't make it first come, first serve, that people can make a reservation.
I mean, everybody wants to know they have a table.
Yeah.
You don't want to show up somewhere and not be able to be seated. And then you have the question of, oh, well, I was here at 5:30, but I couldn't get seated till 6. And, you run into all those issues, and then they're
Right.
going to want the discount after the fact.
Right.
So
As long as they get seated before 6 and you get the orders in
Yep.
before 6 p.m., the
Anything-
computers are still calibrated.
Yep. Anything entered before 6 o'clock
Yep.
gets discounted. If
And
you,
yet they're still assembling like they're going to be storming the palace gates here. I'm a little nervous. Do they have
you should.
pitchforks and lanterns?
I'm like, it's like
no,
an
they're all,
iPhone release. I'm like, there's like a new Michael Jordan's 32 are going to be released. Like
Yeah,
the
it's,
line's coming behind us. I think it's classic.
I can be confident in saying that there's not many places in South Florida, especially in Boca, that have a line out in front of them
right
every
before
single day
closing.
before they
Yeah.
open.
And I got to give
Um,
you credit. It's a brilliant stroke of marketing. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of a lost leader.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about making money here. This is strictly, raise awareness. Big important thing for us is keep employees.
Keep them
employed.
engaged. Keep
Yes,
them
yes.
giving tips. And by the way, people, this is a topic sometimes on Let's Eat South Florida that if you get a deal like this, what are you supposed to tip on? The discounted price or what normally would be standard actual retail price?
So our team is actually trained for this on the tablets that they utilize for
Mhm.
service. The suggested gratuity is based off the original value.
Price.
Oh,
Right.
it is. Okay.
So what they do when they present the check to make sure we're not mincing words, people don't get confused. Just to let you know, suggested gratuity is based off the original value. You're still up.
You can do whatever you want.
You can leave whatever you want, but this is based off the original value. And
I try
everybody's giving
so
back.
hard to believe in the human race.
I was going to say, how have the people.
How is it being received? In actuality, are they tipping on what the usual price should be, or are they still trying to kind of shave it off of what the discounted
most
price?
are.
Most are doing the good thing.
Yes, most are doing a good thing. And it's been great because typically in the summertime, not only do servers, start feeling the pressure because their tips drop and all this, but, right now they're doing numbers during the day where, they were making the same in the season. So everybody's extremely happy. The support staff,
Yep.
the bar staff, even down to the line cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
Everybody's used to getting cut down
So
to
this-
2-3 shifts a week.
Yeah.
Now they're
It's
still
good.
You
at
need
5
them.
and 6
Yeah,
shifts.
you need them.
This is a true trickle down effect where you're keeping people employed and they get their regular hours and tips, and you guys take it on the chin. But you say, you know what? It's an investment for the future.
It's
It
all
gets
about.
people in the door. Maybe some first timers say, "Hey, wow, this is a great place. I didn't even know it was here." And then they'll keep coming back and bringing friends and
It's
visiting relatives throughout the year. right?
from what I hear, talking to the guests and talking to everybody and the employees, and it's the talk kind of all over this area. People
That's
talk
funny.
about this summer social at Corvina, like that is priceless to me.
It's
And like
what
I
you
said,
want.
it's not about making money in the summertime for us.
Right.
It's about raising awareness, keeping people employed, keeping the fish fresh every day.
Yep.
We run out of fresh fish
Good point.
by 8 o'clock every night. We're
Right.
Wow.
we start the next day slate completely clean.
Yeah. So it's that's
Well, and with Chef Jeff, he's big on you, and you give him the freedom to do original, creative things, and that's year round. You do specials year round. You're big on. You came up with this; it wasn't new to you.
Yeah.
Trying to give back to the community, give back to the clientele that already exists and is yet to come is something you guys are really big on.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, you need to be a fabric of the community for it to make sense in Boca, and we've seen it countless times. I think we've even talked about it countless times.
Yeah.
it's 4:59. The doors get unlocked and
he
open
said
at
there'd be a
5.
line. I thought it was BSing.
He's
us,
not
really
lying.
honest.
He's not, I mean, there's actually a whole row of
It looks like
people.
a rock concert.
Now, you should actually mount a countdown clock like New Year's Eve in Times Square so everybody could start chanting. Or like Panthers fans the other night when it was 10
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah,
Oh my
10,
God.
The
9,
whole arena. Yeah,
eight,
I was doing it at home.
7, 6. And they're going to say, let us in.
I love it.
This is great. I love
think
this.
is
And
amazing.
kudos to you, Eddie Pizzoli, for coming up with what I call a really brilliant marketing scheme. And they, again, a lot
Well,
of
being
places
willing
do.
to do it, being willing to do it. Because again, business people all the time look at the bottom line to the point where they bite their nose to spite their face,
Well,
right?
that's
Like,
the problem. You can't cut your way to success in this business. I mean, maybe other businesses you can cut, but like at some point you need the reinvestment. You need to know that you're planning for not this summer. I'm planning for
3
next
years,
season.
the next
I'm-
3 years.
you know,
Yeah.
if-
And that's smart. A lot of people don't get that when things get a little bit, leaner, that's when you double down on doing things like this. And also We appreciate sponsoring us here on the Lunchbox because, people here will go back to their homes, communities, condos, and talk to people. But then when we're also talking about it here, the Lunchbox, Let's Eat South Florida, I've started to see some posts of people who've been here.
Yep.
And that's how you get the word out, not just in the Boca community, but beyond. Because a deal like this, people are willing to travel from Broward, like my
Doors
buddy,
are
the
open.
Sheik, and me. And we're going to be here and enjoying. I mean, gosh, I can get 50% off a seafood tower. I mean, I'm there. And it's going to be, I hate
Thank
to
you.
put a hurting on you, Eddie.
I was gonna say
I
you don't
know.
have to tell Eddie directly.
But meanwhile, we've already going to be graced with some beautiful appetizers
focus
and
on the
other
apps.
treats here.
All right.
And we'll get into that in a
little
moment.
fish
Look at
dip.
this.
Yeah,
Got
this
the
was
fish dip,
fantastic.
which I love. We got
Yeah,
some
that
of the
was fantastic.
rolls.
Yeah.
Well, the
We got
homemade, remember the homemade
Dynamite
bagel
roll.
chips.
roll. Look at that. And look at that. Another roll.
Oh, sushi! I didn't do this last time.
Where are we at? Should we take our first break?
Do whatever you want.
Look, the
I'm
doors
actually-
are open.
I'm just
The lines,
really
They have stormed
enjoying
the
this.
palace. They're going to start
I just love this.
They're
I-
going
I-
to start, tearing up. It's just
I'm not making fun of
we
anyone.
want
I would be one
crab.
of them. I'm not judging anyone. I'm
And-
just appreciating it. Like I think it's great.
You would think that there'd be a specific like age demographic that is like at the door banging it down.
when you
at
hear
5 o'clock.
South Florida, yes, back in the
But
day.
I'll tell
No.
you what, people across the board. You have 30-year-olds.
I mean, this is happy hour time.
Yeah,
Like that's amazing.
Well, everybody likes a good deal. And again, the early bird is a thing of the past in terms of branding and everybody associated it with maybe the elder crowd. But when you call it the social hour, it's social. It's open to every generation.
Yep.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I saw people of all ages. And
Well, and again, and they're not chinching on the portions. They're not changing
No,
the quality of the
same
food. They're
portion,
not
same
changing the
food.
dishes. Like, it's the menu.
It is. It is what it is. We want to make the execution simple for the kitchen because they're the ones taking it on the chin for an hour
Yeah.
every single day, or hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's important that they
It's
just
great.
know what they're making. They're not, they're not making a half portion of this or a 3/4 of a portion of this. It's 50% off everything. That's easy. And
before
that's
we
it.
take our first break, you wanted to give a quick rundown of what we have in front of us here.
All right, so
Eddie.
we got the Waldorf fish dip over here
With
We've
the
got-
homemade bagel chips.
with homemade bagel chips. We
Okay.
got our shrimp spring rolls over here. We have a
It's like a queso.
no, that was
No,
a
it's a
deconstructed crab rangoon.
crab rangoon.
It was-
he
There you
has
go.
a good memory.
Well, no, because I
that
remember
one.
I'm
I didn't know if
always
you guys had that
about
last
crab
time.
rangoon, but the way this was fantastic because you got to. A lot of time you bite into it, it goes everywhere, and then it's too hot, and then
I'm not going.
this was. I remember being fantastic,
Yeah.
and it was a great idea to me.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
you get a little
crab
bit of that. You got the little, the sweet and sour sauce over here. Got the Bar Harbor roll here.
Oh, nice.
And this roll, it looks like Kevin, our sushi chef, did something
That's
different. This
fantastic.
doesn't look like
It looks
any of our
Like a shrimp and
normal
avocado.
rolls.
and-
Yeah.
Almost what
That
they-
looks
yeah,
very
shrimp,
nice.
Is that,
avocado, I don't know
is
what's
that king
inside.
crab on top?
Oh, there
I
might be
think this might
crab
be
on
the
top.
king crab roll that we did.
That looks
And
great.
this
So-
also 50% off if you guys. Wow. Okay.
Everything.
Every
King crab on a
product
roll.
in the house. And again, in the Waldorf
Babe.
dip is Waldorf dip has what? It's a little bit of walnuts and chicken, and I'm just guessing there might be some like cranberries in there.
I don't know if it's
Waldorf.
chicken. I think it's fish.
No, it's a
Oh, it's a
fish.
fish dip.
It's a
Okay.
fish
Yeah,
dip,
fish dip.
but
Yeah, we're at Corvina. What am I thinking?
but it was in honor of, I guess, there's a
There's a Waldorf
famous
salad.
Waldorf
Yeah.
salad.
Yes, and it has walnuts and usually some either cranberry or some sort of
Mhm.
fruit
I
component.
believe cranberry.
And it looks good. It all looks good. And I'm going to start diving in, but during the first break, I'm going to be very composed. And but again, we're here, Corvina Seafood Grill, just south of Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton, right near all the complexes, Plaza Real. And you can find it on your GPS, and you're going to want to find it and
It's around the center
program
road.
your timer, your alarm clock, whatever you need to get here by 4:45. Make your reservation. What platform are you on? It's
We're on Resi.
Resi.
Oh, so and you can make a
You
reservation.
can make reservations,
great. You don't have to
for
storm the
every
castle.
night, except they're closed Mondays, but all weekend long. Which just again, I would imagine that you get maxed out on Friday, Saturday
We are.
between 5 and 6.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're pretty much for this Friday and Saturday. I think we were full this past Sunday
that's
for
great.
the following week. So
Oh,
All
just-
right, so
obviously you can always come in after 6, but
Yes.
it just
Be
you don't get to
prepared
take
to-
advantage of the specials.
and you're going to want to take advantage of the specials. And then It's going through how long? September 1st?
I think through the end of September.
End of
September
September.
3rd.
Oh, jeez.
And again, it's you can't beat this deal. So come on into Corvina. And let's take our first break, and then we'll chow down on some food. And we're also going to get into some other things. Lubie took his family to Prezzo, Boca,
Yes, the
for a
in-laws.
big Father's
Very
Day
discriminating.
celebration.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to give you the rundown on that. It's all
Uh-oh,
good.
I'm nervous.
No,
No,
it's all
I'm
good.
nervous. It was astounding, and we'll
Good.
talk a lot more about that after this. And Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, as we are at Corvina Seafood Grill here in Boca Raton.
Prezzo Italian Restaurants, 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today. Hey, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're here for the social hour, we're calling it, and it is looking quite sociable here at Corvina Seafood Grill. 5 to 6 every night in the summertime, except Monday when they're closed. Half price off the entire menu, entire bar, and we are chomping down on some good appetizers. Lovely sushi rolls. Got the crab rangoon dip with the fresh house-made chips. Waldorf dip with the house-made bagel chips. And it looks like we got the spring rolls, too. So we got a lot of things going on here. Best of all, we got cocktails going.
Mm-hmm.
Have you sipped your libation yet?
This is
Lubie?
fantastic.
Yeah.
I like, especially in the summer, the watermelon, because it has like
Refreshing.
a freshness and it's refreshing and, palate cleanser in the middle of all the food. And it's a light sweetness, but it's not overwhelming. It's really nice. And I mean,
It's all working.
the sushi is fantastic. I mean,
And
we're
we're
not a
out,
quote unquote sushi place, but you wouldn't know. It's fantastic.
we're outside here. I imagine most people in the summertime, they do want the indoor air conditioning, right?
It's brutal out. I'm having a tough time sitting out here.
Eddie
for
said
this.
it. Eddie said it.
It makes sense why people head up north to
Yeah,
New York.
North parts, northern,
northern
where
New
it
York.
still gets hot during the daytime, but I think usually it cools off.
Yeah,
at
the
night.
humidity is not
Here,
exactly the same.
We it is a little bit sauna-like
Well, it's just the
today. We
humidity.
had
Yeah,
some
the rain.
rain, and it still didn't help the humidity situation. But that's okay. I've been here a long time, and now my rationalization, Eddie, is it's almost like I'm exercising as I'm eating because I'm just sweating the food out
There you go.
and sipping this beautiful. The Peach calls it the Boca Girl. And I'm comfortable in my masculinity enough to sip one of these because I really like the flavor of this peach vodka and the peach nectar mix and the rosemary. It's very light and refreshing. And if left to my own devices, I would suck down about 4 of these.
I was gonna say it looks very light. Exactly.
So job well done for the cocktail program here. And I guess just talk about I mean,
want
After
the State
6
of the
o'clock.
Union? You want the state of the
No,
restaurant
I don't-
business? You want-
yeah,
Well,
I'm
we
hearing a
always love
lot
getting into
of,
that
you know,
with you.
it's challenging. You know what? Before we get into that, let Lubie tell you about what happened during the Father's Day celebration.
What happened? You're concerning me.
No, it was. What's funny is, so it was actually game 4 of the Stanley Cup
Saturday
finals.
night
It
before
was
Father's
Saturday,
Day,
and
right?
we were doing Father's Day the Saturday before the Sunday, with my in-laws, and they're very discriminate, and they love Italian food, and they do like Italian food that is more quote unquote authentic, right? Because they've been to Italy a few times, they love Italy, and they lean toward that style of Italian food. So what was it? So they were looking for somewhere to go, and I was like, do you care where? Because they started out in Fort Lauderdale, but it was like the day of on a Saturday, and I'm like, I don't know where. And the weekend of Father's Day, I'm like, I don't know where we're getting a reservation anywhere this weekend. And it wasn't like Prezzo wasn't booked, but there we found a little bit of room, and I was like, okay, I'm like, you guys will like this menu because it not only has authentic Italian dishes, which you do, your carbonara is straight out of what you do in Italy, but it also has the tinges of more of an American Italian as well. And again, the prices are very fair, which we love. And what was interesting is reservation wise, you're sort of full, but what I think happened, and it worked out really well for us, was we get there and it was sort of slow. And I was like, it's the freaking game. Like, and it was a game the Panthers could have clinched. Remember, the Panthers were dominating at that point in the series. So a lot of people really thought they would sweep. So, but what I appreciate, and it's funny, you talk about keeping the staff interested, you know, even though I'm sure they would be, it's good to keep them busy at this time of the year. It was a quote unquote slower Saturday, and at the bar, when we were leaving out, it was the game they ended up getting annihilated, and they were sort of just hanging out, and it felt like they almost felt like that may be what the night was going to be like. You wouldn't have known it by the service because it wasn't like people were just waiting around and bored. Our server, and I wish I got her name, was fantastic, and she was suggesting things, which is what we love. And she was there was a dessert. She brought out the dessert. They do a dessert cart like old school, which is pretty cool. And
How many people were in your party?
there were 6 of us, and
6, so
everyone
it's
got
a-
something different. And we did some apps, and we did some dishes, and we did get a dessert, and we got drinks. We usually do wine, but I guess they were in a cocktail night, which worked out. You guys have great cocktails there, and it was interesting because they're very nice about places, so they won't slam anyone, but they're very honest. So I'm just looking around to see, and they weren't even talking, which is to me the greatest compliment of a restaurant
absolutely.
ever. Is if you enjoy your food, you don't need to talk about the food, to be brutally honest. And then after, they were just and I was just quiet, not saying anything, not tooting any horns, and they were just really happy, and they were like, everything was great. And what's cool about them is they're sharers. So it wasn't like just one dish was great. They all tried every freaking dish. So they all were like, wow, well, this was good, but that was good too. But that was good, but this was good. And I was like, I told you.
That might be. It might be a record where you have a 6-stop in Boca where everybody has every bite. So
I'll
that's
take
yes.
36
Yep.
pallets are sampling everything, and no complaints.
None. There was not one. And
That
look,
is a win.
Eddie
That-
takes
That's a win.
honesty. Like there wasn't any, and I would hope, because look, nothing's perfect, but I know that I've never been disappointed with anything. Everything we've enjoyed there, we truly enjoyed. So it was really cool to see them feel the exact same way.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Well, I
Much
guess,
appreciated.
yeah, that's just a job well done. And again, we go in there, Prezzo. Last time we were up in Palm Beach
And
Gardens.
I didn't say anything about knowing Eddie. I didn't text anyone. I was like, you know what?
I'm
Let's just-
disappointed in you.
I know,
What have you
I-
learned from me? Nothing.
I usually would, but I was like, it was a Saturday too. So and Father's Day weekend, I was like, I'm not even trying to do that. It felt schnorry. So I was like, let's just go. I'm sure it'll go well anyways, but let's just go. And it made me very happy that they proved me right.
That's good.
to
You were
hear.
like-
Thank you.
You were like
Yeah.
the secret shopper for the lunchbox, that making sure quality control for.
I love it.
It was a really good time. And then I was talking to them about the specials, because again, that's the thing, is we went, well, you get the happy
The
hour there
small-
is
the small
ridiculous.
plates, yeah.
The wine down Wednesday, they're big wine people, and they're like, we have to come back. I'm like, yeah, you do. Honestly.
I love it. And I love that Eddie has just gone full bore lunchbox on
enjoy
the
it.
spring rolls there, taking a
stuff's
nice
great.
bite.
Delicious.
I'm loving and digging both of these sushi rolls. Some are now I understand. Like at first, I didn't understand why in South Florida that there was such a thing as like Thai sushi, because I'd never seen that before moving here. And it's like, why is sushi a thing at a Thai restaurant? In Japan and Thailand are nowhere near each other. And then I saw it at pretty much every restaurant, including sports bars.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And even like regular high-end seafood places such as Corvina, and Now I understand, because when it's hot
Yes.
and muggy outside, there's nothing better and for dinner or lunch than just kind of chowing down some good fresh sushi. It's nice and cool and refreshing. And you guys obviously are using some quality products here and some creative combinations. So job well done on that. Do you sell a lot of sushi? Yeah.
We do. We sell a lot, and especially with the summer small plates, or not summer small plates.
Get the mic up there.
The summer social hour.
Yeah.
Summer.
We've seen quite an increase in order quantity. You know, because people
You'll
want to
try a
take
bunch of
advantage of the deal, and so when you would typically maybe only get one appetizer at a table, now
people are
people are
getting
getting-
3.
they're getting a sushi roll plus 2 appetizers, or a seafood tower and a sushi roll. So there's actually stuff on our product mix that wasn't a huge seller in the past,
Before.
but is now surpassed like our best selling stuff during the season. So it's been interesting to kind of see the balance of what's become popular, what's no longer like as popular,
Mhm.
and it's been quite the learning curve.
And I would imagine when you give 50% off of everything, some of the higher end items
It's
that
getting
people would
dabbled in.
ordinarily maybe be a little bit shy about, all of a sudden the pocketbook opens because they say, hey, I can get a premium seafood tower for X, just $50 instead of $100.
You've got a seafood tower with like a pound of Maine lobster. You got a pound of jumbo lump crab. You have 12 oysters from Prince Edward Island. You have 12 shrimp cocktails.
God.
And you get that for $80, I think, $90. It's like
I better save room for that. 'Cause I think
when
that's
we
got
say
our name
loss
on
leader, like no
you
BS.
just drawn
It's
He's crying through
it's
the.
painful.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you're being smile, but are you that friendly? I'm like, jeez.
No,
it's hurting me.
And are you gonna go through with this all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
through the summer just
we
because
have
you're
committed to it,
Yep.
and we are making it happen. And because of its popularity, we will figure out some sort of derivative to it as we go into season.
Okay.
Interesting.
We're not sure exactly how we're gonna spin off, but we know that this is, it's a great opportunity,
working, right.
and it works. Like you said, it's working. We're going
Now,
through.
I would imagine that even on like Friday and Saturday after 6 o'clock, people are coming and
We still get a full turn during the weekends
Mhm.
of, regular price diners and whatnot. So the later night business on the weekends doesn't, go away. And even during the week, we, obviously we're very heavy in the beginning of the night, but we still get a few extra tables after the fact. So it's not like it's a ghost town. But if you walk in here at 6:30 on a night like tonight, or 6:45 on a night like tonight, you'll still see a full dining room, because you got people.
They're hanging out.
If they sit down at 5:45, they're not getting their entrees. Until
Well,
that
and that's the
yeah.
thing when it comes to drinks. Most of the time, outside of a bottle of wine, people are drinking. That's why at the beginning of the show, I was saying they don't just leave at 6, because to me, yes, you're ordering your dinner, fine, but a dessert, maybe another appetizer, drink wise, usually you would consume more than one drink. I would presume most of that happens after 6. And once you're here and you're enjoying yourself, you're not going to go, it's 6 now. Like that's how people
Some
work.
will.
People will.
Yeah.
It's South Florida, but it's Boca, but
you
not
hope there is.
everyone will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know the drinking habits, but people who go out to dinner from 5 to 6, why not? It's happy hour. They're usually.
I'm thinking of it like a happy hour is what I would think. Apps, some drinks, and then you get into dinner.
If you walk in there right now, the bar's full.
I'm sure.
There's no shortage.
And the
of
bottles
drinking.
are emptying. Much to Eddie's chagrin.
So how does we do love talking industry with you, because you are stretched out from Boca to West Palm. You're going to get back into Coral Springs, as we talked about the last time we were with you. But how do you gauge that inventory wise? Because it's something you hadn't done. It's a time of the year that's usually slow, and now it's not slow.
It took it was like 2 weeks of torture for the team to kind of learn what the demand was going to be.
Okay, the habits are good.
And now, every night we take a look at, exactly what was sold.
Interesting.
Make sure we prepare for the following day. And, it's a little bit of a learning curve. And I'm not going to say it was graceful in that first couple of weeks, because
things in the beginning can
yelling,
always
fighting,
be
screaming. The
little
customer's
rough.
Speaking of
pissed.
not being graceful the first couple of weeks, I was biting my tongue at this thing that was going on for another restaurant in Meisner Park.
okay.
Interesting.
Because, being graceful the first couple weeks is very important, and giving people
Oh
the
yeah, I saw
opportunity
somebody posted on the
to,
group about a place that just opened up, and
They slammed them.
and back in the day when I was a professional food critic for the Sun Sentinel, my rule of thumb was
You said like 2-3 months, right?
I would, not even set foot in the door for the first month. Maybe have a first nibble and take a first look in weeks 4 through 6 or 8, but then come back like in that towards the end of the second month, beginning of the third month, have a full experience, see where they're at, and then write the review. And again, out of fairness, you wait a little because they're going to be making some tweaks in both the recipes, the menus, and the pricing. And then you talk to people out of fairness about what's happening. And then you write a full formal review where, you're giving your opinion about whether the place is good and worth it or maybe not. But again, it gives everybody some time, and it's basic fairness. Nowadays, the doors open. People are just shredding restaurants on Yelp or other social media forums. Let's Eat South Florida included. And then I always say, hey, when did they open? 2 days ago? Like, give them a break.
It's tough, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I see it a little bit of a, I empathize a little bit because you are paying a certain amount of money to go try food and whatnot, but at the end of the day, bring the problem to somebody there. They're going to want to hear about it, because chances are, if you've been there a day, that problem's probably happened to somebody else.
And look, the counter argument is, oh, well, they're still paying, they're still charging full freight. And they go, not here. It's 50%. So give them a break. But no, everything here is on point, and you guys have been open a while. But for a new restaurant, again, if it's, in the first week, even if they're charging their normal amounts, then don't go the first week. Like, that was the other thing. Is like, you gotta. It's all about the expectation game, and you can't expect things to be perfect, even though in a utopian world it would be. Now, as an example, last night I was invited to a friends and family for an opening of a place down in Miami called Blue Collar, and a Blue Collar has been in existence since 2014, 10 years, but in a smaller location. They moved to new digs right across the street, but it's new kitchen, a lot of new staff, much bigger. And so they had the last 2 nights, friends and family. Was everything perfect? No. But Danny Surfer, great chef, great guy. He came around, and then, I had a conversation with him afterwards. I gave him some notes of things that were good, some things that could use improvement, some things that were just flawed in execution, and then just some notes about the room because it was very loud and needs some soundproofing. But those are the things that, I'm not going on social media and giving it 1 star. You're like having some, you have a little bit of a kind of, like you said, you go to management. Yeah. I'm talking about it with them. I'm talking about it here because people who watch the Lunchbox know that, I'm an open book. So, but I'm saying with Blue Collar, it might take a few weeks until they find their footing because even though it's a restaurant that's been around, the new menu items they've got.
There's one that's in Miami, right?
Yes.
It's moved
right across the street to a bigger place. So even though it hasn't moved very far, it's still a move, and they've also gotten a little bit more ambitious on the menu. It was a comfort food place, but now they've expanded and have a lot more fish dishes and some meat dishes, and it's just a much wider, expansive menu. Okay. And because of that, it's going to take some time. And I still love the place. I love the vibe of it, and he's tried to create a comfort food place, but please don't go on Yelp or on Let's Eat and giving it like a 1 star or say, I'd never go back. It's like, I'm going to go back many times to Blue Collar because Danny's a good restaurateur. And in a couple of months, I'm sure it's going to be firing on all cylinders.
It's you just got to give that extra chance. And, nobody's perfect. And we're in a very critical environment. And
it's a tough year, tough summer. Yeah.
And people are watching their wallets now more than ever. Everything's gotten more expensive. So, there's just a lot of different check boxes that we need to check as restaurateurs when it comes to opening that, are never going to be all checked on your opening day when you're unlocking the door. Like, you're pretty much taking a barrage of bullets for the first month.
Yeah. It's just, holding,
I think of like Saving Private Ryan when you open when they're pulling up and it's like, it's craziness.
Yeah. Hey, I think it's time to take our second break.
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yes,
and before we do that, I do want to put in the word about, look, we're at Corvina Seafood Grill there's a lot of good seafood places out there now. One of them that just opened up in the south end of Broward County, J&C Oyster.
Yep.
They're doing some really good bang-up work. That's at 2035 Harrison Street in downtown Hollywood. Chef Raheem Sealy, who came from some great restaurants in Miami like Q, has come up with a really innovative seafood-driven menu. Go in there. They have a good happy hour from 5 to 7. Wednesday through Friday. Because
Yes.
all 5 days
Happy
that they're
hour is
open.
5 days.
Wednesday through Sunday is their operating hours.
Yeah.
And again, they're also doing the thing of they're doing it every night that they're open. Have some really good stuff there. So that's J&C Oyster. We're going to be doing their official ribbon cutting grand opening in the middle of July. I believe it's July 13th. We'll be out there with the mayor of Hollywood. And one other seafood note is we here on the Lunchbox. I don't know if anybody likes raw oysters, but in conjunction with the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival and our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea, on August 10th, we're going to be throwing a party. We're calling it the Pearl Jam by the Sea Oyster and Bubbly Festival. It's going to be unlimited raw oysters and unlimited bubbly sparkling wine, along with some music from your favorite grunge rockers from Seattle, was
Yes.
it? Yeah, Seattle.
Pearl Jam. I think
Pearl
they were
Jam.
from
Eddie
there. I don't know.
Vedder. Well, they're not going to be there, but we're going to have some music, and
Another group.
they're going to be playing some good, fine hits like Better Man and Daughter and all those things. And go online to the vlfoodwine.com website to get your tickets now. Again, August 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. Unlimited oysters and bubbly. vlfoodwine.com. Click on the banner to get your tickets, or go to eventbrite.com and just do a search for Even Keel Oysters Pearl Jam, and you can get your tickets now. How many raw oysters could you eat in 3 hours, Eddie? Are you an oyster fan?
I am. I'm not like one to just go
Pound.
crazy. I'll
Good.
have 6,
Good.
and I'm happy. I'm not one of the ones that's just
We're
going. Like,
figuring on everybody downs a dozen. That's the kind
Yes,
of
that's probably
tabulation
all right.
that
All
we're
right.
doing. And also going to be doing an oyster eating competition where 5 minutes, 60 oysters. Whoever finishes 60 the fastest,
Nice.
or whoever eats the most oysters in 5 minutes will be crowned the champion.
So I'm going to plug something while
Yeah.
we're talking about
Yeah,
oysters. In September, I think it's like Oyster Month, or there's something going on in September where we decided to do, what are we calling it? Our Oyster Fest.
Okay.
Nice.
On September 28th here at Corvina, we're going to do like an outdoor little festival out here where Chef is going to, and he'll be back in action by that point. He's going to create all different types of oysters,
Interesting.
serving them different ways, bringing them from different areas. We're gonna
Cooked
have-
and raw?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll have them we're going to have some live entertainment. We're going to have some giveaways, some drink specials, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a big to-do. We'll be starting to
Nice.
advertise it in the next few
And
weeks.
will that
here.
be a ticketed event?
It will
or-
be. Yep.
Okay. So again, we're going to be we'll be promoting that as well here on the Lunchbox.
And it'll be
August
before
10th, September 20th.
the power hour. Or,
Okay. Oh, good.
Oh,
Okay.
So it'll
before
be
the
during the
social hour.
afternoon.
Oh, wow.
It'll be like a 2 to 5 thing. or
Oh, a
whatever.
geez,
special
then you can just
afternoon
hang
event.
here
Is that a Sunday?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. So a couple of Saturdays for oyster lovers out there.
Our oysters.
August 10th, September 28th. Mark your calendars, oyster fans. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with more from Corvina Seafood Grill during the social hour after these words. Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, Top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa de Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you.
Yes, this is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We had to go inside and check it out. It is a quote-unquote a madhouse, not the negative connotation, just they have a packed house here at Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca Raton in Plaza Real.
Sorry, guys.
It is interesting to see on a Wednesday in the middle of the summer a place that is doing that well, and I give kudos to Eddie and everyone here at Corvina for coming up with it, following through with it, and sticking with it, because so far so good. And I don't know what people in this area think about it, but you know what? Then they can do it themselves, because I think it was a really great idea. And I know they probably lose money this hour, quote unquote, but the attention they're bringing during and after, I feel like, yes, as Eddie has said himself, it's got to be well worth it.
Yeah, and it is a very, very happy sight to see a restaurant this crowded, this early on a weekday, on a Wednesday. And again, more power to him. I think I just committed a faux pas, because there was a table of 12, but there was a water glass. We're looking for a water. And one of the guys at the table said, no, you can take it. Nobody's touched it. Nobody's here. But it looked like there was like a table. It was a 12 top.
And they only had like 11.
And they had champagne glasses set up and full all the way around. And I just the guy said it was okay. So I picked it up and I took it. And then people are shooting me daggers like I just stole their firstborn. But it's not the first faux pas that I've made in a restaurant. Certainly won't be the last. But hopefully you'll have me back. And we'll spend a little bit on the dinner here afterwards.
There you go.
So anyway, what else is happening now, Eddie, around in your world? I know that you've got a project on the way that we spoke about last time in Coral Springs, coming back with a new concept and an old building, an old familiar home for you guys. Any updates on that at this point?
We're still trucking along. We're hopefully, like I was telling you earlier, that hopefully the city plays nicely with us as far as permitting is concerned, and I'm really excited about getting back to my home.
Yep.
That's where I grew up and where we built our first business, and feel like there's a little unfinished business left in that space, and really happy that we still remained owners of the building after we sold the business the first time. So,
So you have control, and you hopefully will.
It's our baby, and yeah, I'll remember not to sell that one again.
Yeah. And no, I'm sure once you get everything off the ground and people will come flocking back. I know, it's look, there's a lot of competition out there, and I guess that's part of what I wanted to talk about is, I'm hearing a lot of there's challenges out there, especially during a summertime where we've gone back to the usual ways of it's kind of like, feast or famine. And also, the economy is tricky. For some people are doing really well, but others are struggling and cutting back. But is the bottom line that maybe it was just a restaurant glut and that now there's a thinning of the herd and kind of supply and demand capitalism at its most elemental?
It's happening. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get calls, at least once a week, whether it be from brokers or people looking for people to come into their space or calling and saying, "Oh, this is a tough summer. This is that." It's tough everywhere. I'll be the first to admit it's a tough summer, but when times are like this, you really need to focus on the fundamentals of what we're doing. And at the end of the day, it's hospitality. If you do everything with that in mind, the business will come to you eventually. And you just gotta kind of grit it out for a little bit. It's not a pretty business. It's not what everybody thinks it is. You're not walking around, with a cocktail in your hand all day.
yeah.
Bossing people
Well, I
around.
am, but I don't own any restaurants.
Yeah,
I just kind of try to support them. But no, it's hard. But I guess the bottom line is because I'm always surprised that like in Coral Springs, you see like this new Italian restaurant just opened, and then 2 new like Asian sushi places just open. It's like, where is the demand for all this? Why are these places keep opening? And is there a point where just there has to be kind of a narrowing down, a thinning out? And I think we're really seeing that now in parts of Miami, and parts of downtown Fort Lauderdale, and along Las Olas. And oh look, Tom T is hobbling up. Yeah, our friend of the show, a former, he still is a chef, and his restaurant was one of the unfortunate victims. He was subletting a place up in Boca, and now that is, in transition. And I know Tom is going to be doing a pop-up soon right here in Meisner in July at Max's Grill. And Bert Rappaport, the very, of course, legendary and classy restaurateur, is a big fan of Tom's cooking. So he's going to be giving him a little one-off, dinner opportunity there in July. So
I think
it's all good. You didn't know we were here. Come on.
What's happening?
What's up, Tom T?
How are you?
So,
good to see you.
Let's see. Let's take our final break, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll come back after these words on the Lunchbox. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Okay, we're back, wrapping up the social hour at Corvina Seafood Grill, and all the local hospitality luminaries are coming out. Tom T swore he didn't know we were going to be here, and I believe him because our schedule today was a little bit jumbled, but Tom T is going to be hosting a one-off event at Max's Grill in right up the road here in Meisner on July 9th, so put that on your dining calendars if you like, and also other friend Paul Greenberg, who was one of the founding partners of American Social. Very
Nice.
Successful venture. There's now 5 of them, and he was part of the original that started on Las Olas in Fort Lauderdale a while back, over a decade ago. I think he said 12 to 13 years. And yeah, so Eddie, you're bringing out, you know, when other people in the
heavy
biz,
hitters around,
if people in the biz are coming to check out what you're doing here, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
something like that. I hope so, at least.
Otherwise, they're saying, or they're just like taking notes. Like,
oh, this works. This doesn't work. Okay, the bar's full.
It's good. And actually, I was pleased to hear Tom T told me his number 2 Sioux guy, Cal, I guess is going to be tomorrow. He's going to be joining the ranks here, and you got yourself a winner. Cal's a really good cook, chef, and that's going to be a welcome addition. And again, it's what happens in this business. When one door closes, another one opens. So yeah, just keep spinning along here, and it's just great to see. I'm so happy that you guys are kicking butt here up in Boca.
Making it happen.
Corvina.
Day by day.
Eddie, any big plans for the 4th of July weekend, long weekend? Or
Work. That's it. I have one vacation. We're heading to Europe in July 24th.
Okay.
Ibiza and Bordeaux.
Ooh, good for you.
And
Ibiza and Bordeaux.
That is
and some
wine and some partying.
I'm like, I don't know if the kids
and
go
the
to
kids
Ibiza.
coming.
Kids aren't coming.
Oh
no, this is adults. So
this is that sounds like well deserved, and enjoy yourself. But we'll see you before you go away.
Yeah.
July 24th. We'll go maybe Prezzo Boca for lunch sometime before you leave, because if the entire Lubitz family was able to eat a dinner with no complaints, then Prezzo Boca. We know that because we've been in there a number of times, and I love everything we have for your lunchbox specials. So, all right, Eddie, keep up the good work, and everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be on our regular time, 1 o'clock from Beauregard's Meats. We're on a Boca tear, and we'll be. This is a new upscale butcher shop, and he cures his own pastrami, and we're going to be with the. I guess the Secretary of Steak, Evan Darnell himself from Red Meat Lovers Club. They've got a couple of events coming up, and Evan said you got to get into this place. He's doing some really good stuff. So tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Beauregard Meats up here in Boca. Friday at Gulfstream Park as usual, where we'll do our contest tiebreaker. 6 will be in the tiebreaker hat. Until then, Enjoy every social hour, every half price drink, every half price food item, and enjoy every